Well, hello and welcome to Tech Talk Thursday, the 2 p.m. slot, as we like to call it now. Welcome everybody. And I was going to go live to Instagram, and then I just noticed that Ecamm threw an error saying I cannot go live to this destination. So I did do some testing before and it was working, so I'm not sure what's going on there. So unfortunately, Instagram and any vertical stuff that we're doing right now isn't working. So it doesn't matter. That's what we're here for, testing away. So I'll bring on Mr. McKenna. Hello, Martin. How's it going? So once again, it doesn't work. I'll have to find out why.
So, well, Instagram isn't working, but is YouTube working in vertical?
I'm only going live to. I was only going live in vertical to Instagram today because I just had that one destination set up as well as just the standard YouTube stuff. So I have no idea why that's stopped. I think it's to do with the stream key because what I did is I scheduled the stream. You have to add a stream key. It changes every time. Maybe the stream key was wrong, but it just said an error, and I don't understand what that error is. I'll have to look into the logs, maybe send it to Ken and Glenn. It doesn't matter. It was just testing. But anyway, how are you doing? How's your week? I can still hear some thumping in the background. There's still some the working there, right?
There's a bit of thumping in the background. Hopefully there's no buzzing because I turned my telephone off, which my phone does do this sort of which is another tip for the top people, because you will never know that sound is coming through on your audio unless you're in some way, getting special headphones on and listening to some plug-in version of your own voice in the background. But turn your phone off before you start a stream, because I was on something earlier on today and somebody was saying, I can hear a noise. Where's that noise coming from? I said, I think that'll be my phone. And it was.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So you just have no idea that that's happening, and unless somebody is at the other end and actually mentions the fact that they can hear something, and immediately I knew, that will be my phone, because I'm sure that's happened in the past, that it just scans and somehow it comes through. I don't hear anything at all at my end, but the noise does pick up somewhere or other, so I don't know how that even works, but there we go. So we've been doing alpha testing this week. I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about, but I'm guessing we can talk more about it nowadays, because it would appear that everyone else is talking about it anyway.
I think so.
On various different streams. So the alpha version of Ecamm now is supporting dual streaming in landscape or horizontal, or whatever you want to call it, 16:9 and 9:16 simultaneously. So generally we've been playing about and testing this, and I certainly have been going live to the likes of LinkedIn in landscape format, whilst going live to YouTube in both landscape and vertical format simultaneously on the same channel. So that all seemed to work very, very well, actually, very well. And I also did a bit of a test to an unlisted YouTube channel with some guests of mine, so I was showing them around Ecamm and how to use it and what it was capable of, and it did record independently both the different aspect ratios and feed them out to YouTube in both aspect ratios, and I was able to give a unlisted link to my guests so they could go back and have a look at the different look and feels for the different aspect ratios, where we can create completely different backgrounds in each canvas. So if I refer to the horizontal and the landscape as canvases, if you can imagine, if I decide I want to put something up here and something over there, if I then put that in exactly the same format in vertical, then I would have things disappear off the side of the screen, which we don't want. So some streaming tools will just do this by cropping down the center of the screen. Ecamm is a lot cleverer than that and allows you to have a totally unique design for each canvas. So in your vertical you can slim down, if you want, how things are going to look if you've got a background going on, and I frequently have got a background going on, although I don't right at this very second, but if I had a background going on, then we can make that completely different in the two different formats, which is often necessary anyway in the vertical format, just to space restrictions, so you have to move things around a little bit, but you can place your cameras and your videos and your presentations wherever you like in each canvas, along with your logos and anything else that you've got. So it's very, very cool. It seems to work extremely well thus far. We're finding a couple of little odd quirks, just things that have got missed out as we've gone along, but they'll be added in, no doubt, before the beta is released. So as I say, we're on the alpha at the moment. You can't get hold of the alpha, I'm afraid, folks. It's not widely available, but you can go into the Facebook group and join the beta Facebook group for Ecamm, and as soon as that beta comes out, which I suspect won't be too long, then you'll be notified that the beta is available. And we'll already have played about with most of the functionality and hopefully found any big issues that are there, and some smaller ones as well. But they've just introduced a nice showing background feature in the latest alpha that allows us to drop a single image into the background for both canvases, and then it crops it automatically in the vertical canvas if that's what you want to do. Or as we've found out, maybe you don't want to do that and you want to have something a bit different, in which case you have to drop that into the individual scene. So we've just been having that whole discussion prior to coming on just now, but we know what's happening now, and we think it's behaving as expected, although we're probably going to request a little enhancement there.
If possible. Yeah, we'll see. And it's fair to say that the beta has been pretty much like every other beta, the alpha, sorry, has been pretty much like every other alpha we've tested. It's been pretty rock solid. It hasn't crashed or anything. It's just little nuances and little things that are different with regards to going live in both formats. So, you know, we and the team have been sort of ironing out a few of those things, and Ken and Glenn have been very responsive as ever, and then just tweaking and changing and iteratively making some updates. I think there's another update coming maybe before the end of the week, and then we'll be able to test that. And yeah, the likelihood is in the next sort of week or so that the beta will be out for everybody to test. But it's fair to say that, you know, you don't want to be saddled with these problems, so let us deal with those first. Let's test it out thoroughly, and then when you get it, it's going to be pretty much rock solid and ready to go. But like anything else, if it's beta software, we don't recommend doing your production workflows, especially for clients. We're testing it here right now. We don't care if this breaks or not, you know, but I wouldn't recommend doing it for clients and things. Just a quick comment come in, and I've got a sort of an answer for this. So thanks, King, for joining us. You're referring to the Wavelink plugin. I haven't tested Wavelink since I was last on my show. I was waiting for the Stream Deck plugin to be updated and things like that. So let me know if it has been updated, and then I'll test it out. Maybe do that live on Sunday or something like that. But I haven't played with it. But yeah, the Wavelink software is really good, but just haven't had time. So many other things going on as well, and so on. So what have you been working with this week? I'll tell you my sort of musings on what I've been playing with.
Yeah, so obviously lots of Ecamm work, and that's kind of combined with doing lots of graphic work as well. For me anyway, it's always the graphic side of things that I like to play about with, and video associated with the graphics as well. So the tools I've been using extensively are Photoshop's generative AI, which just recently has now included Nano Banana and another one that I'm going to forget the name of, but they allow you to use context aware generative fill. So previously, if I was taking an image perhaps of myself like this and I'd only got a vertical image, I could get it to generatively fill the background either side of me. Now I can do context aware generative fill, so I could say, hey, what I want you to do is change Martin's shirt to a green hoodie, and it would change that to a green hoodie. But I also want in the background to keep Martin where he is, but replace the background with a view of Edinburgh through a frosted window, and it would do that for me by changing the whole image using Nano Banana. You need to be a bit careful when swapping between the different generative fill modes, because that one wants you to fill the whole screen and change the whole screen, but you just say what you want to keep. If you only wanted to change a little bit of the picture or the image, then you want to use the Firefly generative fill, not the Nano Banana, because that will make a complete mess of your scene. So there's a bit of jumping about between those that needs to be done. I've been using quite a lot of Veed.io associated with that to create some cool little demo videos. So let's play a demo video because I just happen to have one down here. So this is a little demo video, and basically what I've done here is stitched together 2 5-second clips, and you can't see the gap between the clips, and then just generally moved back to my next scene and created some nice looking borders around that with all the different AI tools to create the different borders, etc. So doing a lot of that. They've upgraded Kittle this week, which is another tool that I use, and one of the reasons for mentioning Kittle specifically is on the countdown that Neil ran with the camera in the center of the picture. That was an image I created using something called Sets Generator in Kittle, and literally what you do is you drop in a reference image, and in my case it would be the background for Creator Cafe, and then I can say I want a camera, a microphone, a monitor, and anything else that I want, and it would generate a set of 6 matching icons, or 6 matching it can be 1080p by 1080p blocks, and they would all be perfectly matched in with the styling. It worked really, really well. So just when you think something's working really well, they decided to change the interface this week and remove that feature as it was. So previously all I did was drop in a reference image and then just say the words camera, monitor, microphone, whatever. It was really, really easy. Now they have improved it by giving you an infinite canvas. So you get an infinite canvas, you drop your reference image in, you then need to link another image via a little line or multiple lines, and that second image you can then put in a prompt for. But you don't just put in a prompt that says camera. What you do is put in a long prompt that says keep everything the same and follow the same styling and follow the same color palette and X, da, 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 da. So it becomes quite a long prompt, and it will just generate one additional image. If you then want to create more, then you have to drop more images onto the canvas and then link them to your original reference image, and then put the long prompt in every single one of the other canvases as well. So it's gone from being a 2-second job to just type in the words camera, phone, whatever, to being a really lengthy and complicated process that involves you scrolling all over an infinite canvas and dropping things into it and putting in long prompts, and yeah, it works, and I guess it works well, but is it easier? No, absolutely not. And one of the reasons I was using Kittle extensively was because it was so simple and easy to use, and now they have upgraded it and made it way more complicated to achieve the same results. So I will go play about with it a bit more, but my initial impression is this is going to take me 3 or 4 times as long to do exactly what I've done previously. So yeah. And on Black Friday I did go through and upgrade all of my AI tools to higher levels of generations as well, so including Kittle, and now I'm thinking I'll maybe not be using it as much. So.
And why do you think they've changed the workflows then? Have they just added more? I mean, obviously they're supposed to make it easy for people to generate this stuff. Is it just because they've upgraded the models and those models call for more either sophisticated prompts or different way of manipulating that? Because it used to be a really useful tool, and what you did was really good with it. But so what do you think the problem is with it?
Well, I think what they've done is, I believe they've introduced more models. So in order to, I didn't get a choice of which model I was going to use previously. It just used whatever Kittle was using in the background. Now I suspect on each individual element on the artboard, I can probably choose a different model, so Nano Banana or Kling or whatever, as the tool that's going to regenerate my images for me, which for some people I guess might be quite good. But for me, what it was doing previously was it would look at my image and it would analyze it, and it would say, oh, that's futuristic, or that's realistic, or whatever it decided the image was, and then it would copy the traits of that automatically into the new image. Now what they've done is given you lots more flexibility, but it's flexibility I didn't really want or need, because it was already doing a fantastic job. So I guess the trade-off is I can now use multiple models and greater flexibility and da 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 da. But actually, I just wanted simplicity rather than flexibility. That was my goal.
That makes sense. I was just going to suggest, because I think we've had some people join and then we've had a couple of people drop off. So I think we don't have any live people watching at the moment. I was going to suggest maybe we stop this live stream, and just because we're only having a conversation, I'm just curious about the whole Instagram thing. We could just pause here and then I could just go live into vertical mode onto Instagram just for testing. What do you think?
Okay.
Why not? We can just end
just
early.
Rejoin.
Yeah.
Rejoin with a different Zoom link.
No, you can stay there on the Zoom link. I'm just going to end the stream and then I'm just going to start it again. So you can just stay right where you are. I'm just going to end this stream and then I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
So stay where you are.
Bye, everyone.